Good afternoon, friends. This is Steve with Real Progressives, and we're going to talk for a couple minutes about something that's just absolutely wearing me out. This idea that somehow or other Real Progressives is in any way, shape, or form advocating anything fiscally conservative. We're going to put that baby to bed. So what Real Progressives is doing is we're trying to point out the fact that we can have a progressive agenda without giving a shit about the wealthy. We can move right past them as if they're irrelevant. The way we do that is we spend now. We spend today. We help people with Medicare for all. Today. Not when you've won the war of taxing the rich, because taxes don't fund spending. So how many people have to die so you can feel you got your pound of flesh? This useless pound of flesh that literally does nothing. That's what we're all about. And when you understand the truth, you decide to put away your bumper sticker politics. You decide to start doing something useful and meaningful with your life. You start doing something esteemable. Because when you say that we are fiscally conservative, when we're talking about blowing the budget up, we're talking about spending like crazy. I'm talking, Bernie Sanders said $33 trillion over 10 years. I'm willing to go to 53 trillion, okay? I am anything but fiscally conservative. And modern monetary theory doesn't say one way or the other. Modern monetary theory simply tells you taxes don't fund spending. That's true. Whether you like it or not, it's true. That's the best part of it. It doesn't need you to agree with it for it to be true. Like most facts, they're true regardless of whether your feels come into alignment with the facts. It's a fact. It is. It's true. So anyone that says, well, we got to raise taxes, and they don't understand that that fight is a separate fight from we got to get people medical help now. We've got to get green energy, not after you've fought with the rich to give up their money. We got to save the environment now. You see the difference here? One is a sign of an idiot that doesn't want to listen, that's a full cup, that's busy pointing fingers at us, calling us conservatives. And the other is a sign of a winning combination of trying to save people's lives and save the planet. And yes, there is nothing wrong with not knowing the truth. There's only something wrong with puffing up and acting like you know when you don't. When you do that, you bring yourself in line with righteous scorn and ridicule. You deserve to be ridiculed when you're wrong like that, because people are dying while you're running around doing that. There is a definite cause and effect. The more the bullshit spreads, the more the lies persist, the more people die. Did you know for every 1% of unemployment, 40,000 people die? That's true. For every 1% of unemployment, 40,000 people die. We could put that to bed right now with a job guarantee, federal job guarantee. We could do it right now. No fuss, no muss, guaranteed, done right now. And we could do it without raising taxes right now. So the people could have jobs right now. Then later, after we unfuck the planet, after we unfuck our country, after we unfuck the poor, after we unfuck everything about our nation, then we can go back and worry about taxing the rich. But in the meantime, though, if you believe taxes fund spending, you're wrong. It's just you're wrong. It's not a matter of opinion. It's just a fact. And facts have a crazy way of being facts, whether you agree with them or not. And that's the deal. That is the deal. So we are anything but conservative. We are anything but fiscally conservative. We are maybe the most absolutely liberally progressive entity you'll run into. Personally, I would love to see everyone have a basic income and the ability to earn income outside of that. Because right now, if you go on welfare, what happens? If you get a job, your welfare stops. Why do we do that? Why are we trying to make it more difficult? Why? Because of Calvinism. Because in this country, we have been taught to believe that we've got to struggle. It's all about the struggle, man. Struggle good, character building. But the reality is that we are causing untold suffering just based on the feels. Based on the feels. People have to die because of the stinking feels. Again, 40,000 people die every 1% of unemployment. For those people that neg what we talk about, for those people who, but what about hyperinflation? Prove it. Prove it. If you can't, zip it or ask questions. Questions are good. It's always good to ask questions. The only bad question is the one you didn't ask. Okay? But to act like you know and to saunter in like the cool guy in the bar, yo, let me tell you something about the gold standard. That's a problem. And that's something that you'll get the receiving end of a brutal attack. You just can't help it. I got to do it. But when you come in and you say, well, what about this? We're going to engage on that. Then we're going to talk and then we'll show each other and we'll work through it. But I can't let somebody that puffs up. Yeah, it's time. The elbow of truth. There is no solace for the know-it-all that doesn't know jack. That's the problem. Too many people that don't know economics feel compelled to talk about economics. And instead of asking questions so that they too could know economics, they just go in shooting from the hip. Well, if I've got to balance my checkbook within the federal government, it has to too. Huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. That sounds right. It sounds good, doesn't it? Uh-huh. Yeah. They don't know anything about macroeconomics. They don't know anything about monetary sovereignty. They don't know anything whatsoever about a nation's macroeconomic reality. But yeah, I have to balance my checkbook, so the federal government should have to do it too. Uh-huh. That's right. Uh-huh. You just have to try your best to come in and explain. Be kind. Try it out first. Give them a shot. But then when you see the trollish sarcasm come out, the ignorant trollish sarcasm come out, like, well, if you were anything close to a Bernie-crat, you would know that you've got to tax the rich. Stephanie Kelton, Bernie Sanders' top economic advisor, who most of these people that saunter in don't even know, would say the best way to make the rich irrelevant and get things done is to make them irrelevant. Stop faking like you're a revolutionary and start acting like one. Be one. Make the rich irrelevant. And the best way to do that is to stop sweating taxation and start sweating pushing your agenda. Your agenda is not taxes. That's not what your agenda is. Your agenda is medical. Your agenda is education. Your agenda is the environment. Your agenda is not high taxation. That's just moronic. Now, if you want to solve for income inequality, you don't worry about taxing these bastards, although you can do that too. It's just not the most effective. The most effective way to do that would be a federal job guarantee and a basic income guarantee combined to provide all the basics. Then you have people living a life of dignity. You have labor as the peg to your currency. So they lay people off. Guess what? It's going to screw everyone. That's right. We have a built-in stabilizer in the job guarantee. That costs a lot of money. That costs a lot of money. Not a lot. I mean, a lot comparatively, right? So why wouldn't we do this? Why wouldn't we do this? Because these people saunter in, saunter in. We got to raise taxes. You're a conservative. You don't think we should raise taxes on the rich. That makes you a conservative. No, it makes me understand economics, and it makes me want to taunt you. It makes me want to taunt you. It doesn't make me feel comfortable not taunting you. It makes me feel compelled to taunt you. Not because I want to, I have to. If you came in and said, Steve, I don't understand this reason you don't want to tax the rich, I'd say, of course I want to tax the rich. I'd love to soak those bastards who earned a lot of their pay doing absolutely nothing. Think about it. But I want people to live more than I want to tax the rich. I want people to be healthy more than I want to tax the rich. I want the environment fixed for my children more than I want to tax the rich. So when people saunter in and say that, just know where the friggin' pile driver of truth comes from. You can't let that nonsense stand without a harsh rebuke. They're just as bad as a flat earther. They're just as bad as a climate science denialist. They're just as bad as any one of these people that you complain about on the right wing. The GOP bringing a snowball in to talk about climate change, that's what these people are when they deny economic reality. The same thing, you're going to figure it out soon enough and you'll understand. The level of scorn you have for those people daunting on the environment are the same level of scorn I have for people who saunter in and talk about economics, gold standard style, that don't know jack diddly. Again, there is nothing wrong with not knowing. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. There is absolutely nothing wrong. At one point in time, we all didn't know something, right? There's a lot of things I don't know. But I don't saunter into a GMO debate telling the science people that they don't know their ass from their elbow. I don't walk into a Black Lives Matter event and tell them they don't know what it means to be black. I don't walk into a gay and lesbian rally and tell them, hey, you don't know what it's like to be a gay or a lesbian. And I don't walk into an environment where economists actually know what the hell they're talking about and tell them, but you got to go back on the gold standard. You got to go back on the gold standard. I don't do it. And so when people do that, for the sake of those around and for the sake of my children, I drop the elbow of truth on them. That's the deal. So anyway, with that, I hope you guys keep opening your minds, ask questions. If you don't know the answer, there literally is nothing wrong with that at all. Not knowing is just the starting point to knowing. Once you ask the right questions, if you have a curious mind and you want to learn and you want to change the world, this is the way to do it. But don't saunter in talking about the Rothschilds and Soros and all the other bait and switch nonsense, rabbit holes. You're just going to get met with scorn and ridicule because none of it is actionable and people are dying while you're peddling myths. This is Steve with Real Progressives. Have a great day, everybody.